Can you believe it? I just found a place where you can be fined for touching ants, or bidden to shake hands with women. Even more unbelievably, just being there means you're not allowed to use your left hand. You might think I'm making things up, but don't rush to conclusions. Join me on a journey to Palestine, and in the next few minutes you'll surely be astonished by the 12 prohibitions and strange things unique to this place. Prohibition of shaking hands with women. If you go to Palestine, remember one thing. Stay away from women as much as possible and absolutely refrain from shaking hands or touching their bodies. Men, including Muslim men, are not allowed to shake hands with unfamiliar women. That means if they are not family, touching is strictly prohibited. Similarly, Muslim women are not allowed to shake hands with unfamiliar men. When communicating with Muslim women, just smile and nod. Don't extend your hand out of habit. Maintaining distance between women and men is a mandatory practice in Islam. You should know that in Islamic countries, if women violate these prohibitions with men, especially involving extramarital affairs, they face extremely harsh penalties. The most notorious punishment is stoning. Women engaged in extramarital affairs are taken to the public square, where everyone pelts them with stones. It's difficult for them to survive, and even if they escape death, they will face social ostracization. Touching a local girl may not cause you significant trouble, but she could become a victim of extremist and fanatical individuals. Number 11. The oldest city in the world. I have visited statues over 2,000 years old and pyramids nearly 4,000 years old, and these places truly carry countless mysteries. However, 2,000 to 4,000 years is nothing compared to a place in Palestine known as the oldest city in the world, with an age believed to be around 10,000 years. It's hard to believe, but the city named Jericho, referred to as Rehab by the Palestinians, has truly existed for 10,000 years. It is a fertile area with lush greenery covering the ground. Vibrant flowers and fresh leaves abound. A unique piece of information provided by the governor is that the oxygen levels here are 7% higher than the world average. This contributes to the uniqueness and superior quality of the plant life in Jericho. The land is abundant, attracting people from all walks of life to buy land and build garden villas here. You are free to follow any religion or indulge in any personal choice. Whether you want to abstain from or partake in alcohol, those inclined toward spiritual pursuits are welcome, and those who enjoy festivities and revelry are also accepted. Surprisingly, there is no social trouble. Just look at the houses of the Palestinians. They're open, with no high walls or barred windows. Various types of cars are comfortably parked overnight in open spaces or along the side of the road. It truly is a fascinating and livable city. Number 10. No alcohol. If you are invited to a Palestinian home for a meal and plan to bring a bottle of wine as a gift for the family, be prepared for a hostile reaction when you bring it. They might throw the bottle away and angrily ask you to leave. Why? Because you don't understand them. According to the teachings of Allah, followers of Islam are not allowed to use stimulants like alcohol, as they make people lose their reason and can lead to regrettable sins. Muslim believers highly respect and follow the teachings of their Almighty, and therefore, some Islamic countries' governments have issued orders prohibiting the consumption of alcoholic beverages. Devout Muslims never drink beer or wine throughout their lives. If you are invited to a Muslim family, it's best not to give them wine or beer. In Palestinian weddings, you won't find a drop of alcohol. The most delicious beverage you can find might be carbonated soft drinks, and if not, then stick to plain water. Number 9. Prohibition of pork consumption. When in Palestine, you'll have a variety of interesting food options to choose from, but there will be absolutely no dishes made with pork. I can confidently tell you that 90% of Palestinians have never tasted the flavor of pork until their passing. Once again, the reason stems from Islam. A passage in the Quran prohibits the consumption of pork. Through deep analysis, there are two main reasons why Muslim believers believe that eating pork is harmful to their health and morally. First, pigs are unclean animals and carry many harmful diseases for humans. Second, it has a negative impact on one's character due to the frequent exchange of mates, as pigs are known to be promiscuous. Therefore, Islamic restaurants often use beef as a main and popular dish. Pork is one of the most common foods globally, with approximately 1 billion pigs slaughtered for consumption every year, widely used in many cultures. However, for some religions like Judaism or Islam, pork is considered forbidden. While Hindus refrain from consuming beef due to their reverence for cows, Muslims avoid pork because it is deemed impure for the body. The Holy Quran, the sacred scripture of Islam, clearly lists certain prohibited foods, and pork is among them. So when you're here, don't be surprised if you can't find any dishes made with pork. Number 8. Prohibition of using the index finger. If you have a habit of pointing with your index finger when talking about something or someone, it's best not to visit Palestine. There is a real possibility that you might be assaulted or even lose that finger. In the Islamic belief system, pointing with the index finger is considered a disrespectful gesture. Therefore, it is a strongly condemned action. Instead, use your right thumb and keep the other 4 fingers tightly clenched underneath. An Australian tourist once visited Palestine and pointed at an elderly man selling goods. Immediately the man's son grabbed a stick, attacked, and chased the Australian away. They genuinely wanted to harm him. It was only later, after researching Islam more thoroughly, that the tourist realized it was a forbidden gesture. So if you plan to go there, remember to keep your index finger down until you return home. Number 6. The dirty left hand. You'll encounter issues with both hands. The index finger is not to be used, and your left hand becomes practically useless in this country. According to Islamic beliefs, the left hand is considered impure. Therefore, in certain religious rituals and important ceremonies, people do not use their left hand. For example, when holding food, religious items, or shaking hands, it is customary to use the right hand. When giving or receiving gifts, or even when receiving food, if you have to use both hands, the left hand must be placed beneath the right hand. Again, when pointing, only use the index finger of the right hand, while the other 4 fingers should be tightly clenched. Muslims typically reserve the right hand for religious ceremonies and important activities in their lives. In Islamic beliefs, the left hand is associated with personal hygiene activities and is therefore considered less clean. So when here, refrain from using your left hand to handle objects and food. When a Muslim offers a gift or transfers something to you, use both hands to receive it with the left hand positioned beneath the right hand. Additionally, absolutely avoid using the index finger to point in any direction, object, or especially at someone. This is considered a serious offense to one's dignity in Islamic culture. Remember to use your entire hand when indicating something to avoid unnecessary complications. Number 5. Prohibition of ant killing. It's not surprising for us to deal with a few ants. They are small and ubiquitous, so inadvertently causing harm to them doesn't seem too significant. However, in Palestine, absolutely refrain from disturbing the ants, as they are not ordinary ants. They are protected and highly respected by the Muslim population. Bees and woodpeckers are species that are strictly protected here. According to Islamic beliefs, ants are respected creatures. They are diligent, organized, and have high endurance. Of course, people may unintentionally kill ants because they are truly tiny, but don't let others see it. At the very least, you will be held accountable if you deliberately kill ants or destroy an ant nest. You may be taken to the mosque and punished with a cane for going against religious teachings. Not only ants, but all other animals also have specific rules regarding their treatment. Even animals raised for food have standard procedures in place to ensure they depart peacefully without causing harm to humans after death. It may seem like they're taking things to the extreme, but when you're here, you have to live according to their culture. Try not to complain too much, as the consequences can be quite severe. Number 4. The navel of the earth. Continuing our journey to the peculiar regions of Palestine, let's explore a place known as the navel of the earth, the Dead Sea. If the Himalayan mountain range is the roof of the world, then the Dead Sea is the deepest depression on all 5 continents. This area stretches between Jordan and Israel. The West Bank territory of Palestine owns the majority of the northwest length of the Dead Sea, while the remaining portion to the southwest of this coastline belongs to Israel. However, since the 1967 war, Israel has claimed complete control over the entire length of this unique navel of the world. The Dead Sea truly lives up to its name in a literal sense. Nestled amidst arid land lies an expansive, incredibly salty body of water where no living organism can survive. Surprisingly, you can't drown in the Dead Sea. Even if you can't swim, you will effortlessly float on the water's surface, allowing you to leisurely lie back and gaze at the vast, cloudless sky. Despite its inhospitality for life, the water of the Dead Sea is a highly valuable resource for the cosmetics industry. Women come here not only to immerse themselves in the water but also to spread black, salty mud all over their bodies. Anyone leaving will likely carry a unique set of skincare products unlike any other in the world. Number 3. Bride kidnapping. If you're strolling through the streets of Palestine and unexpectedly witness a scene where a girl is being seized by several men and taken away, don't panic and hastily call the police. They are not kidnappers, they are just kidnapping the bride. Couples voluntarily bind themselves to each other and live happily ever after. But in Palestine, they do it in a peculiar way. Here, the process of courtship is demonstrated by young men kidnapping the girl of their dreams, whether she likes it or not. With the help of family and friends, the young man will attempt to abduct the girl and bring her to his home. While she is held hostage in his home, the groom's family will persuade the girl's family to convince her to marry him. Depending on the social standing of the young man, the bride's family may intervene and force her to stay or attempt to help her escape. Although it was banned in 1991, nearly 1/3 of Palestinian marriages are believed to have started in this way. It may seem interesting and surprising to the girl, but the crucial point is that she must agree beforehand. Otherwise, it's no different from abduction and forced marriage. Number 3. The oldest olive tree in the world. Palestine has become a place of historical significance, housing a treasure, the ancient olive tree, aged 3,700 years. Mahmoud Rabba and his family had to leave their homeland in 1948 due to the expulsion by Israeli restoration forces. They moved to a location containing this olive tree when Mahmoud was just 11 years old. The area used to have many ancient olive trees, but urbanization processes led to the survival of only one tree. Thanks to the special care of the Mahmoud family, this olive tree has been preserved. The tree's trunk has a circumference of 7.2 meters and belongs to the valuable olive variety, producing incredibly fragrant and high-quality olive oil. To protect the tree from environmental impacts, the Mahmoud family built a small house in the area. Since the olive tree was already too old, resulting in an almost hollow trunk, Mahmoud filled the hollow space with soil to maintain moisture. Experts from the United Nations and Professor Sahil Zaidan from Tel Aviv University have confirmed that this olive tree has existed for 3,700 years. Residents also believe that this olive tree might be connected to mystical phenomena, producing strange occurrences on full moon nights, such as purple light or causing onlookers to faint. If you have the opportunity to visit Palestine, come and touch this living creature that has been around for 3,700 years. Number 2. Entering holy places. Undoubtedly magnificent and grand Islamic mosques are essential destinations in every traveler's exploration journey. For the locals, these mosques represent a connection to the Supreme Being and hold an extremely sacred position in their hearts. Therefore, when visiting Islamic mosques, it is crucial to respect and adhere to specific regulations to express respect for Islamic traditions. Islamic mosques have strict dress codes that visitors must comply with. Otherwise, they will not be allowed to enter the mosque. The attire should be modest, covering arms and legs, and avoiding revealing or tight-fitting clothing. For men, wearing t-shirts, shorts, or sandals is not permitted. Women are required to wear headscarves, and if they have long hair, it is advisable to tie it up securely under the headscarf. Attire should be formal, covering the body and extending to the wrists and ankles. It is essential for everyone to remove their shoes before entering the mosque, so slip-on shoes are preferable. Visitors are not allowed to engage in intimate gestures such as holding hands or kissing while taking photos inside the mosque. Visitors should stay within the designated areas for mosque visits and avoid wandering in the surrounding areas. Parents should closely supervise children, ensuring they adhere to the mosque's strict rules. Smoking and bringing food into the mosque area are strictly prohibited. No one is allowed to touch the Quran or any sacred objects inside the prayer area. These rules must be strictly followed. Number 1. Discussing the holy city of Al-Aqsa. When visiting Palestine, there are many things to be mindful of, especially regarding religious sensitivities. Allah is the standard Arabic term used to refer to the Supreme Almighty. While in Europe, the Americas, East Asia, and South Asia, the term Allah is predominantly associated with Islam. In Arabic-speaking regions, Christians and Jews also use the term to refer to God. For followers of Islam, the Almighty Allah is the Creator, playing the most sacred and significant role in their spiritual lives. Muslims strongly dislike it when others make comments about the religious and political regime they follow. When exploring Islamic land, you can delve into their culture and religious philosophy, but it's crucial not to engage in discussions or make remarks about Allah. This is considered highly disrespectful, and you may face serious consequences from the local people. Additionally, adherents of the Islamic faith do not permit anyone to pass judgment or criticize others because this is within the domain of Allah. So, we have journeyed through an interesting exploration to learn about the prohibitions and peculiarities unique to the land of Palestine. If you find this video intriguing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos from us. Share your thoughts on the peculiarities of Palestine or suggest topics for our next video. Thank you for accompanying us on this adventure. See you in the upcoming videos.